a title I'm really excited about. It's interesting. We just got done talking about StarCraft 3 and this being a game that we wanted to really echo into existence. Dead Space, guys, is a title I've been talking about here on the YouTube channel for quite some time. Having a Dead Space 4, a continuation of some sort or another. And it's interesting because we had this title finally get made. And I do believe it was definitely the community who voiced that we need another Dead Space title. Similar to what I've been saying that the StarCraft community needs to do to get another StarCraft title made. Dead Space's community comes together, guys, creating petitions and different group chats and such on Facebook and other in different ways. And we've got Dead Space coming back, guys, in some capacity or another, which is super exciting. So I want to go ahead, guys, I want to talk in this segment of the show about 5 things we want in the new upcoming Dead Space title. We're going to break it down, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below because these are going to be my thoughts and opinions and the 5 things I want to see. I'd love to hear the 5 things that you want to see out of the upcoming Dead Space title. So let's get into it. So first and foremost, guys, at number 1 for me, and this is always, the number 1 thing for me when it comes to a significant AAA title that's coming out, I want a full package. So what does that mean, guys? Well, we talk about here on the YouTube channel all the time. That you want to have a campaign. Of course, you want to continue the legacy, the story of Dead Space, but you also want co-op modes, which we got in Dead Space 3 a little bit too little too late, in my opinion, with that title, but also multiplayer. So a full package is campaign, co-op, and multiplayer modes. I want to see a full package here with the upcoming Dead Space title or Dead Space 4, whatever you want to call it. And that being said, I think it's really important that we have all of those elements in this title, because what's going to happen is after you beat the campaign once or twice, if there's not other ways to connect with this universe, you're going to move on to other games. If you have co-op modes, you'll play with your friends a couple of times through, or play maybe waves and waves of necromorphs, kind of like Gears of War's Horde mode. Or having multiplayer where you're PvP, where you're playing against other people in the world, or even playing against PvE, whatever it may be, just different ways to connect and continue playing the title is very important. Coming in, guys, at number 2 for me, I would love to see, obviously they go back to the roots of Dead Space, but at the end of the day, I really want them to have differences and similarities. So I think that what I want to see is certainly to have that very unnerving experience of being on these ships and on these different areas, planets and such, where it's very, tight corridors, very, unnerving experiences. But I also would like to see anytime you go outside, if you do in the game, that there's a semi-open world feel. So a semi-open world would be very interesting to me in certain capacities of this story. Not so much where, I obviously want them to go back to what was Dead Space, the roots of Dead Space, but I also wouldn't mind seeing a semi-open world when you're outside. Number 3 for me, guys, this is one that, very well might be a little bit controversial, but I'd love to see Dead Space be free to play or have one of their elements be free to play. We see so many games nowadays that are going free to play in some capacity or another. So I would love to see Dead Space kind of take a page out of that book where maybe the campaign and the co-op modes you have to pay for, but the multiplayer is free to play, similar to that of like Halo Infinite, Call of Duty Warzone, so on and so forth. And so I'd like to see like some free to play elements here, because then it's going to get people to at least just try the game out, which I think is a really good thing when it comes to continuing to build the fan base and the franchise that is Dead Space. So I think that's going to be very important here with this upcoming title. And then, guys, coming in at number 4 for me, I think it's really important that this title sets up the next generation of Dead Space titles. My hope is that they've got another trilogy planned, that they've got an entire plan laid out outside of just this one game, that they're going to really bring back Dead Space in a major way. Not just like this one game comes out and then we don't hear from Dead Space in the next, number of years. I'm hoping that there's a real plan here to really take us into the next generation of Dead Space titles, and that's something I'm really excited about. And, coming in, guys, for me, very last but not least, number 5. One of the things I think it's really important that they did a really good job of in the first two Dead Space games was customization, where you were able to like customize Isaac Clarke over the course of the story. And I would love to see them that kind of elevated in a major way here with the new Dead Space title, where you're able to customize Isaac Clarke, but then that can transfer over to the co-op modes, that can transfer over to the multiplayer, so you can really start customizing your character. And I think that would be really awesome because I think there's so many different options here. I'd love to see new weapons. I'd love to see new enemies, some old enemies, of course, like the old necromorphs and such, but I'd also like to see some new enemies, some new bosses. And so I think that would be really awesome as well. But the customization to me is really key because that's going to bring you back to the experience a lot as well. If there's a lot of ways and the different customization trees, so to speak, that you can, upgrade Isaac Clarke over time or upgrade your character in multiplayer, I think that would be absolutely awesome. But with that being said, guys, those are the 5 things that I want to see out of the new upcoming Dead Space title. What do you want to see? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Dead Space content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.